honest. She was fine back in the day.
All right, I just going live. Here we go.
DJ Reno. You like a DJ right now. Go ahead, switch the track.
Yeah, man.
That's the end of the intro.
All right, here we go. 3,
there
2,
you go.
1. What's going on, baby? Uproar Radio. We are live here on a Thursday night in lovely Nashville, Tennessee, the 1912 studios. We got DH on the mic, bringing us in.
1912 studios.
We got a great show tonight, y'all. We're going to celebrate these 2025 Tennessee State University Football Seniors, man. That's what we're here to celebrate. That's what we're here to celebrate. It's Uproar Radio. Fellas, how we feeling, baby?
Feeling great, man. Enthused, man.
Another beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day in the land of golden sunshine.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
It is, man. Yeah, man. We are, like I said, tonight's episode is about it's Senior Day coming up for the Big Blue, man, and no matter what, man, we're gonna make sure we do what we did on the front end. We're gonna celebrate those seniors going into their last season. Then as they come on their last home game, you know, that's what this here to do, man. And no matter what, man, no matter how the season goes, like I said, that's what we still here to do, man. Like I said, it's always tough, right? And we're gonna get into some of that toughness, man.
So
like
they ain't the first ones to go through a tough senior year.
Yeah, it is, man. Sure ain't, man. So
my senior year was rough.
It was real quick. So let's get into it real quick, man. Flem, let's go with you, man. I know for the folks who don't know your story, man, just real quick, talk to us real quick about your story, man, and the adjustments you had to make at your time, in Big Blue.
Yeah, so and I've been very candid. I even had my own head coach on. I got kicked off the team. Basically my redshirt sophomore year, 1997. So my senior year would have been 99 when that team was the number one team in the nation. And, I was still in school and I was still, hanging with my partners and my bros. And those guys had won a 1998, OVC champion, the first one. But, they never looked at me differently. I felt like, I was always part of it. But, of course, I wasn't on the field. But, so I never got a chance to experience my senior year. My senior year, I was being a cheerleader. I was in the stand. I was a fan. And so, I take very, very, I take pride in understanding my fault, but also continue to support the university and my brothers. So, that's what we're doing today. You know what I'm saying? We're still supporting the brotherhood of the boys and let them know that, we brought the senior year in with the kickoff luncheon, and your very last home game, we're going to bring it in tonight on Uproar. So the boys.
Definitely. Bowser, man, talk to me about your senior game, your last game, man, in that Big Blue jersey.
I look like we lost you, bro.
Hold on. There we go. We lost your audio.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. There we go. All
right,
go ahead. Yeah. Tell us.
Yeah. So my bad. Senior year, like I said, I was a walk-on, so it was a blessing to be a part of the team and to make it that far. Some things happened, going from freshman to senior year, but senior year, got put on full athletic scholarship, made it all the way to senior night. We started the season. We was 3-1, bro. We was rolling. We had beat FAMU the first time in a long time. We lost to Jackson State, but we beat A&M. We beat A&T. And then that A&T game was when our senior year took a turn for the worse. Preston Brown, he ended up rushing for like 170 that game. but he tore his ACL on a touchdown run.
Yep.
And after that, we didn't win a game. We didn't win a game. We had the host senior night was on homecoming. So we played EIU. They came to Nashville, played homecoming, and we was up 28-7. And then they came back and beat us. And we blew the game senior night. Now, that was gonna be, the one we won. We had it rolling. I was balling. I think I had like 6 PBUs that game. 3 of them was dropped interceptions. I had a big one in the fourth quarter.
Come on, smart guy.
The game, man, I dropped 3 picks that game, bro. I got them on tape. If I could go log in, I'll show you. But man, I fumbled the ball too. I picked up a scoop and score. That's how everything was going good and everything just went bad. They fumbled it. I picked it up. I'm running. Little buddies knocked it out and they got it right back. I said, man. But it was just great playing with my guys. We had a good year. Our last game was actually against Murray State 2 weeks later. So we did a little tribute back when I was in school.
Yeah.
I'm going to end up posting. I'm going to repost that thing so everybody can see it. But it's just great, You can't always win, but, I had a great time with my senior classmates. We learned a lot. Everybody ended up making through the season. I think a few people had some tryouts that year with the league. I know Gino ended up picking up for a little while.
Yeah.
The Ravens. But I don't know what happened after that.
Yeah.
But it's a tough one, bro, because after that, that's it. You never play again.
Man.
Never the same. I was playing and I came up to Jersey. I was working for the league. I would play a little flag football and I would just be dominating. But then it just, it wasn't worth playing with.
Yeah.
Flag.
Yeah, it's rough. I know where mine. I was fortunate. We had EIU. Our last.
I was at that game too.
Yeah.
That was when Coach Reed. That was Coach Webb last game.
That was
last game. No.
Coach Webb last game was the year next. Next year. Yeah.
Okay.
So we won 45-24, and was still in position to win the conference. Was still in position to win the conference. Had 2 more road games. That we went to Jacksonville State on that Thursday night.
Spillman was on that team, right?
Ryan Perilou.
Yeah,
was quarterback from transfer from LSU.
Spillman, that was the year we had Spillman on our team.
Yeah, we had Spillman. Yeah. Man, and
that Jacksonville State game.
So it's just like it was a funky way, man. But at least that senior night, man, like I said, we ended it right for us, 45-24.
Got the walk off a winner.
Yeah, got the walk off senior night a win. Like I said, it was a good game. Hell of a team, obviously. Javaris Williams, Cecil Newton, Dumaka Atkins, Chris Johnson, Tonio Hefner, Brandon Belvin.
See, Lou was on that team the same year with y'all?
Yeah.
Lou went to the league too, didn't he?
I don't know if Lou went league. He might have went
Arena League.
I think he did Arena League or whatever. He might have like a rookie camp or something like that, but I don't know if he actually made it to a regular camp or whatever. But yeah, that was it, man, for us, man. But this is something I want to get into, right? So for me, I remember, and I don't know when this tradition started. Flim, you might remember, but you would always do your senior tackle, your last tackle at the last practice. And I remember my freshman year. I come in, I'm one of the last Reese boys, right? So we part of Coach James Reese last class, and fortunate for me, I was locker mates with the great Chuck, Charles Anthony. He was 22, I was 23, and I remember we go through camp and everything, and just for me, I was fortunate to have him beside me as a freshman because I understood his demeanor. I understood what it meant to carry yourself the right way in every way possible. So I was thankful to have a senior like that, man, beside me. I don't know how many people can say they had a senior like a Charles Anthony beside them all their years, which was great. But long story short is, so for the people who don't know this, at TSU, I hope they still do this, man, but your last practice as a senior, you switch jerseys. So people be wearing all kind of jerseys, someone that they admired. For me, I took Charles's jersey, right? He wore mine, right? So I had on the deuce. So for a little bit there in practice, couldn't nobody touch me or whatever. until they realized, oh no, that's not Chuck wearing the tutu, man. So, like I said, I definitely enjoyed that, and I'll even tell you the very next year, one of the seniors jerseys that I wore was Monte Duncan, one of my great teammates, man, and defensive tackle. He wore 99, man. But it's just like, that kind of stuff really means a lot, man. And it's for me when you're an underclassman and you go to that senior and say, hey, man, can I wear your jersey for the last practice or whatever. Some seniors still want to hold on to theirs, but it's always cool when, for the most part, they'll allow a younger person to switch with them, man. And the coaches still hate it, whatever, for whatever reason. But Flim, do you ever remember something like that happening when you was there in undergrad? Is that something that Coach Cole brought in, or do you remember?
Well, I can't really say, but Coach Cole brought a lot of traditions, because he had been at, the Power 5 conferences, and that's where the kickoff luncheon, actually derived from, was something he brought from University of Cincinnati when he was an assistant coach. But the boys, man, we always find things to honor one another, and so I can't really say when that actually started, but we always do things. I mean, just actually the boys, there's the whole name, what I'm saying? Do we know where that came from? Or is it something we just said,
Man,
that,
it's just for as long as I can remember, like my pops, y'all know, like he was there in the 70s. Like, far as I know, the boys.
yeah,
That's what it was.
right. So, that's one of them things, man, where, all the stuff, the time we spend together, and then the love that we have for each other and the university and for what what we stand for, all kind of beautiful things are created through that space, and so, hey, man, it was a thing to look up to the upperclassmen, right? I tell the story all the time. I used to hang out with the old line, and they were all upperclassmen. Big Anna, God rest his soul, Shoe Buster, God rest his soul. We used to have a Shoe Buster party, but I was a freshman guy, and I was a little guy, and they used to always let me rock with them. You know what I'm saying? They always let me roll with them, especially on the travel bus. I'd be in the back of the bus, and we'll sneak on some E&J, and after the game, we used to call it a shoe buster party. You know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or draw, we're gonna have a shoe buster party. And that Big Anna was from Mississippi, and Shoe Buster was from Memphis. So I had a lot of them roots back. So I felt like I was always a little brother. So that being said, upperclassmen and the underclassmen situation was like a rites of passage back then. And now hopefully those brothers, are respecting this 2025 class, which was really an orphanage, right? There's no other word for it. We had to build a team, and I hope that they was able to have that type of camaraderie, but more importantly, they showed the deference and respect to the upperclassmen, the seniors.
Definitely. Bowser, talk to me, man.
Yeah, man. Just just touching in on that, those bonds and the memories, man. They go quick and they go fast. So I hope them boys really, embraced it. I know that, we got to go on the road, you get to sleep in the hotels, practices. Like you said, that practice week, you get your last tackle on the dummy. You line up, everybody say they piece, man. I hope they still following tradition. What's today? Thursday, ain't it?
Thursday, yeah.
It should have happened today. Today
it should be today. It should be today. Unless they stretch it to Friday.
No, we did ours Thursday.
Yeah.
Because we travel. Oh, not travel, but you in the room on Friday.
Yeah.
But man, I was trying to find the footage while you was talking, Flynn, but I can't find my Facebook page. I still got my Facebook connected to my TSU.
Oh,
I ain't got that account.
Man, you left campus in 2010, man. You still got a linked Facebook page.
Yeah, man.
Your my TSU. You're gonna have to do something about that, coach.
Change the email. All these darn passwords you gotta have.
Oh yeah. Good stuff, man. But yeah, for me that's what this is about, man. I just want and we're going to get into these seniors, man. I'm gonna read out their names, read out a little bit about them. Some people know, and then others you just don't know, right? Some didn't get a chance to, get out there and show what they could do in live game action, right? But regardless, man, for the seniors that had been at Tennessee State all 4 years, 5 years, or for the ones who just chose Tennessee State as their last stop. That's what this show is about, man.
And
So,
then the boys are what you make it too. Like you said,
mhm.
Flem said you got kicked off, but the boys still, took you in. You was still a part of it, and you was around, and you still doing big things. And the same with them, the guys that didn't play, or the guys that may feel like they should have got some more. We all had them guys on the team
Yeah.
that was practice players, and everybody knew them, and they still got their respect. And at the end of the day, when once you make it through senior year, you the boys, you alumni, you got rights and passes and privileges of the squad. It's just what you make it. So I hope them boys take that for real and come play in the Legends game, come network. Part of the boys is networking, man.
Yeah.
So
It is, man. Let me do a little reading out here, man. You got defensive lineman number 0, Braylon Perry from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, transferred in from Prairie View A&M, man. And he came in and for Braylon, man, native and came to TSU by way of Prairie View, as I said, bringing in some good toughness to himself, man. And if you're looking for him, folks, his I believe if I found this correctly, I believe his handle on social media is Bray, BRAE_Beast9. I want to give him a good shout out, man. Reach out to him for the Big Blue people out there. Make sure you reach out to him and send him some loves, man. Like I said, came in to be a good presence, in the trenches, man. So that's Braylon Perry.
shout out to Braylon.
Yeah. Next up, we got number 6 linebacker Jelani Willis from Memphis, Tennessee, transferred in from Western Michigan.
That was the one with the big arms, right? That was the linebacker. I think I sent. I forget what game. I remember I was talking about that linebacker that one week.
Maybe,
I heard his name. I think that was
maybe,
him.
man. But out of Bartlett High, man.
He West 10.
Came down. He like I said, when I would see him out there on these games this past year, man. He's definitely running to the ball a lot. Taking. He's taking a long road back home, obviously, right? Because when he left out of high school, he went all the way to Western Michigan. So I know for him
Probably
it
know
was.
some of my guys. I had 2 kids in Western
Yeah.
Michigan.
I know for him it was definitely good to get back close to home as he closed out his college career, man. But again, if I got his handle correct, his handle is @_JWill10 @_JWill10. So reach out to him, send him some love, let him know.
West 10.
Yeah. Next up, one of my good favorites right here, man. Linebacker Brent Rowe. Brent from Hendersonville High School out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Linebacker whose story comes from, Milwaukee.
He's from Milwaukee, ended up in Hendersonville.
Yeah, man. He's one of those seniors who has he's grown up in this program, y'all, and we talked about that at the senior kickoff luncheon. Through special teams, rotational snaps, and still a good leader. I resonated with him because going into my last year, that's about how I was. I was on every last special teams, and I was a rotational defensive back, right? So it just depends on the game plan for that week on where I was going to be from a true defensive snap standpoint. So man, just kind of how it was. But regardless, he's one that when people see him, like you see stillness. So shout out to Brent Rowe, man. Shout out to Brent Rowe. Okay, next up we got wide receiver Justin Hughes from Nashville, Tennessee, Lipscomb High School. We got right here Lipscomb Academy, local kid. Want to give him a good shout out as well too. Lone kid that came in from Tennessee State by way of Memphis. And I think I read this correctly, Arkansas Baptist as well too. So he's like I said, he chose Tennessee State as his last stop, man, and we thankful that Tennessee State was what he chose, and hopefully, as you said, Flim, that with this being your last stop, that you were still able to gather something beyond football while being at Tennessee State, man. All right, I'm gonna pass this on to you, Flim. We got Tavion Porter Turbo, running back from out of Chicago. That's really gained some steam the last half of this season right here, man. He's behind his pads a lot, always downhill, finishing runs, man. You had a chance to sit with him at the table at the kickoff luncheon, man. So, what do you want to share from any thank yous and recognitions you want to share about Turbo?
Yeah, so I had a chance to spend some time with him at the kickoff luncheon, and just some of the things what gets lost in some of the W's and the L's is that these kids are really excited to really play ball, and they really are out there doing their best. They're trying to take advantage of the situation and really maximize this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And this gentleman had never been at Tennessee State until his senior year. Mm-hmm. So that just lets you know how bad he wanted it. He just wanted a chance to play football.
Yeah.
And he got a chance to score a touchdown. I think not this last game. Was it this last game? He just scored a touchdown. I believe he scored. Yeah, I think he scored a touchdown the last game, but he just scored recently.
Mm-hmm.
And then a heavy package. So I was really happy for him because he kept his head down. He's been on the kickoff return team. He had a couple of returns. So, that's what it's all about. The senior, that college football experience is to get a chance to continue to play, and you can share those moments, for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Definitely.
100%.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Next up, we got linebacker Gavin Forshaw, Nashville, Tennessee, by way of South Alabama and Kansas State. Nashville kid who took a national tour before coming home by way of South Alabama and Kansas State. 6'2" kid, long and athletic. Seen football on multiple levels, and that experience, I like to believe, showed up throughout practice and throughout his participation on the field. So shout out to Gavin, man, and again, thank you for choosing Tennessee State as your last stop. Next up, we got tight end Christian Jones out of Anola, Oklahoma, by way of Missouri Southern. So tight end Christian Jones, man, as I've heard people say, Oklahoma tough, man. So with stops at Missouri Southern and Northeastern AM before suiting up with the Big Blue, man. If you're looking for him on social media, his Jones are Chris T.I. Johns. So that's CHRISTIJONS 15. So that's one of them. And then the other one I found was Christian Jones, 2 S's and a 1 at the end, man. So send that Big Blue love his way, tight end. It's been getting in there, working itself, looking for those opportunities, man. So again, thank you, Christian, for selecting Tennessee State as your final stop, man. I'm going to pass this next one on. I'm going to give it to you, Bather, Nashville kid out of Antioch, right up the road, right across the borderline from you.
Oh, he from the yacht.
Yeah, number 7 in your program, number 1 in your heart, defensive end, James Stewart out of
Hey, man, I've been talking about number 7 all season. Big time player. Was a big steal for Tennessee State. He's got some family legacy at Tennessee State. Late little cousin of the great Herman Hunter. Herman Hunter was an NFL player. It looks like we got another one coming up soon. Selected to the Legacy Bowl NFL HBCU Combine. He'll be representing Tennessee State this year. Tennessee State is known to put NFL. We had the most NFL players in the HBCU history, so he's going to follow that tradition, man. We just want to thank him for, going out all this year, being the captain, being the leader. He left MTSU with a chip on his shoulder and definitely came and showed up and put his best foot forward. He still has a lot better to get, but the ceiling is high for this kid, man, and we just appreciate him, baptizing himself in the big blue. And, man, congratulations, man. Y'all go check him out. We're going to be following him this year. Like I said, that combine is coming up soon, so he'll be running in like less than a month and a half, 2 months. And he'll be, first in your book, first in your heart. James Stewart, shout out.
Hey,
Flim, get at it.
Yeah, his dad and I played high school together at Antioch. We Antioch alum. You know what I'm saying? His dad was a couple of years younger than me. So I was a senior. I think Big James was a sophomore, but Big James was built the same way. And, so I look at James as a nephew, and we communicate, sparingly. And he calls me Unc. I got to take him fishing. I owe him a fishing trip. But yeah, I'm really excited. That family is an Antioch family. I'm an Antioch guy, and so just really always excited. He's really been a bell cow. Still playing hard, regardless of the record. He had a phenomenal game last week. I think he had 3.5, 4 tackles for loss, maybe a couple of sacks. And so he's still playing hard. So what Gardner Webb is going to have to figure out a plan for him this week, because he never stops. His engine's always running.
Yeah, definitely, man. Again, I'll say, I got ties to him as well too. His uncle, man, name slips my mind.
Come on,
his uncle Dewan Buford.
Okay.
Also big in TSU family, because Dewan's father played at Tennessee State before Coach Merritt's reign began at Tennessee State, man. So, when Dewan was coming out of high school, and it was unfortunate that he didn't go to Tennessee State, right? He ended up going to play ball at MTSU, and that kind of started that reign of MTSU and the work that they've done, man. So he was a part of those opening early days with I believe it's Boots Donnelly down in MTSU, man. But it's been knowing him, and obviously as Bather said, his cousins Mario and Marcel Hunter, we all grew up together, the sons of the great Herman Hunter, been tied to him. His uncle by his father's older brother, Leslie Stewart, is my father-in-law. So been knowing about him for a very, very long time, man. But again, it's good to see him thrive, man. And I'm glad that we still find a way to get him to Tennessee State, man. Because when he was leaving Memphis, I was trying my best to get him to come to Tennessee State then. But he went with one portion of his family, went to MTSU, so he went there first, and then we were lucky enough to get him here, man, and just been blessed to see him. And as we all know, man, when it comes to a defensive play, 90% of the times James gonna be the one to make it. So, I'm just glad we had him, man. So shout out to James Stewart, man.
Oh yeah.
All right, next up we have offensive lineman number 69, KJ McCoo from Memphis, Tennessee, transferring from FAMU. He came in looking to, bounce around that line right there to find a spot for the Big Blue, man. And, KJ was coming in from, I think he was part of that FAMU team that won a Celebration Bowl, I believe, against, was it Howard? I believe it was against Howard.
Was North Carolina?
Maybe it was North Carolina Central. I can't remember, but he was part of that team right there.
Man, I don't even like shouting out FAMU, but he switched to the right side.
Heck yeah, man. But yeah, like I said, thank you for selecting Tennessee State as your last spot, man. And like I said, you're one of the few folks that have played for the two of the blue bloods of what is black college football. Because honestly, by my standard, you got 4. Than the rest of them, because you got the 4 who've been consistently for so many years that was like getting it done on the highest level. That's just my thoughts on it. Then the rest of them are you kind of just they in spots there, man. But he's played for 2 of the blue bloods, man. Next up, Flim, I'm going to you this on first on this one, man. Our running back out of Houston, Texas, Kendrick Grimes. I know you saw him in his days when he was playing at Southern, man. But he came to Tennessee State, and we got a good chance to connect to him. So, give me your parting thank yous and shots for Mr. Kendrick Grimes.
Yeah, man. Kendrick, I was able to, before I ever spoke to him, I saw him playing at Southern when he was playing against Jackson State. And, of course, I'm a Jackson, Mississippi kid. So I would go visit and do some things and go quite, a couple of times a year to Jackson to go check out, that experience. And a couple of times I watched him play Southern, and he was one of those guys that stood out. And so when I heard the news he was coming to Nashville, and I met him, we just spent a little time together. and we just hit it off. He's just a great kid. You know what I'm saying? Just a guy that loves football, just wants to have an opportunity. Exceptional speed. Great attitude, and we really appreciate him coming to Nashville. I know it probably didn't work out like how we wanted it, but he played hard the whole time. And, we just want to make sure we give him a shout out and thank him for coming to Nashville and being one of the boys. So, you one of the boys, bro. So you always come back. You know what I'm saying? You tap in and we'll get down with it. So, we appreciate you.
Definitely,
yes, sir.
Definitely. Next up, running back, also Nashville kid. He came out of Siegel High School. I know he played at Nashville Christian as well too.
Rutherford County. How we doing in the county, man?
Played most of his ball at FAMU. Leland Will Hoyt. Let me start this off right here. Leland, our family's been knowing each other for a long time. Leland's mom, Miss Vivian Will Hoyt, her and my dad worked together in the state controller's office when we were growing up, man. So I've been knowing his family since then, man. And like I said, they are a fiery family, and that's how he is on the field as well too. Like I said, but it was one of those from a transfer standpoint. You get a kid that played on a pretty good high level when he was at FAMU, really good contributor when he was at FAMU as well too. And like I said, it was his last stop, and he wanted to make sure that when he was fighting for that last year of season to play, he said, I'm gonna choose the place that's back home to get this last year in, man. And he was able to do it, and came into camp a little late, I believe, as well too, because he came in at the end of camp by way of a walk-on. So you got a kid that was on books and a big contributor. You got him as a walk-on, and eventually he makes his way to be one of your kick returners. And then he's even got some snaps in at running back, man. So, but yeah, most of all, man, just like I said, that's Leland Will Hoyt. I know some of you all know him and his family as well too, man. So jump on in.
Now you said he went to Siegel, so
Yeah.
I'm a Laverne Rutherford County guy, so I'm gonna shout him out. Shout out to another. Who was the first Rutherford County Tennessee State?
Say that one more time.
Who was the first player from Rutherford County to play at Tennessee State?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Me, buddy.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, we gotta check that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody from like the 60s and 70s.
Nah, man, we had a good. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
Nah.
All right.
It was a good running right after me. Then it was my brother. Then it was Chris. After me, it was Sherm, Big Snacks.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Y'all had a good run.
Yeah, we had a good
run.
run.
Don't get me wrong, but I'm pretty sure you weren't the first Rutherford County kid.
Have you heard it? Who else you know then?
I
heard it.
Go back and look at the books, man. If you want to claim that on air right now,
it's not a claim.
You, I wouldn't claim that. I wouldn't claim that. That's on you.
Yeah, well, it was only one school in Rutherford County for a long time.
Riverdale.
It was two. It was Riverdale, Oakland. They in our years. Come on, now, they was
Oakland was there.
No, I'm just saying.
Especially in the
Rutherford
90s,
County,
definitely too.
Well, I'm just saying Rutherford County is Smyrna and Laverne, so that's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
It's Murfreesboro too, though. It's Murfreesboro.
Yeah, I know it's Murfreesboro as well, but you know what I'm saying. You went to Laverne, so
went to Laverne.
Yeah, you might have been the first cat from Laverne.
From Laverne, right?
There we go. I might.
Then we had 4 straight from Laverne.
Yeah. I'm just saying we might give you that, but Rutherford County as a whole,
two from the NFL, two. All of them played. We all play on the same team.
I believe it. That's not what we're getting at, but I believe
tighten up, buddy.
All right. Next up, baby.
We got Pearl when I was playing.
We never even worried about playing though, Laverne. Come on, man, get out. Next up, we got Mr. Mr. Hotfoot himself, Kobe May kicker from Aurora, Colorado, man. Colorado Mesa transfer. Got a chance to meet with him, man. Let me tell you something about Hotfoot, man. Hotfoot, every time I stop by practice, he was up Mr. Reno, shakes the hand real good, man, and he's always tapped in, man. And no matter what, when you see him, man, Kobe always energy looks like he's happy where he is. So Although he's not our main kicker, it doesn't matter. He's still locked in, man. So I'm glad to see people like that are out there still enjoying it, man. So it's my hope that Kobe gets a chance to put one through the uprights before he gets out here, so we can say he did that in Big Blue Country, man. But shout out to Kobe May. If you want to reach out to him, his Instagram is Kobe May. That's COBYMAY.
I gotta
10.
check
That's
some of
number
these
10.
Instagrams out.
Yeah, man. Check him out. Check him out, man. Next up, we have offensive lineman 66 from Memphis, Tennessee, Middle College, Kennedy Wilbert. Kennedy came to us. He's another grad, Memphis native, and came in with some good size, bringing some veteran ness to the line right here. His value isn't just in snaps, man. It's how he helps young linemen understand fronts, man, and protection. So what it means to represent from the biggest alumni group out of the whole alumni space of Tennessee State, outside of Nashville is Memphis, man. So comes with a lot of expectations and from a on-field and off-field standpoint, man. So shout out to him, Kennedy.
Yeah, so let me step on that. So let me holler at Kobe too. So I had to go get my charger. Y'all,
Okay,
so I had
yeah,
to
go ahead.
So Kobe is a great young man. He was at the kickoff lunch and spent some time with him. Very spiritual. Always gonna be in the prayer. Always gonna pray for you. He reached out to me a couple of times on social media, and he's just a very delightful kid. And that's what college football, and sometimes gets lost in all of this, right? Is how these young men are just very special. It takes a lot to play college football. It takes a lot to go out here to Tennessee State University, to a foreign area, and trust the process, trust the university, trust the fan base, trust everything, and just for the love of opportunity to play football. So, I love me some Kobe. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have a K in his name. He's Kobe with a C. Mm-hmm. But, it's okay. It's okay. He's a great young man, and really appreciate him. He's one of those contributors that'll be here 10, 20, 30 years from now.
Yeah.
And telling folks he played for Tennessee State University.
Definitely, man. By way of Colorado at that, man. Aurora, yeah. Colorado, man.
So and then the other is Gilbert. Gilbert is a 4.0 student. He will be entering med school.
Yeah, man.
You going to Harry?
I don't know.
I don't know yet.
I know he's going to med school. I just don't know where.
Yeah. So he's a future physician. Doctor. He's a future doctor. Yeah. And he actually got a call from Tennessee State University. He was getting ready to do his thing and get ready for medical school in that journey. And we know we needed some depth. And he said, okay, he had still had some eligibility, so why not? And actually he was in the game this past weekend. He played the whole second half. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So this kid didn't have no spring, he didn't have no summer. Mm-hmm. Got a call out there helping, just because that's what being a Tiger is about. So
yeah,
shout out to Gilbert.
Shout out to Gilbert, man. Heck yeah. Real quick, I want to go to can I go to the chat line real quick? I see the comments coming in through IG, man. Shout out to my guy, Mixed by Arco. I know him as Red, DeArco Tolliver from West Nashville. West Nasty. That's my guy, man. My high school teammate there, man. Thank you for the love and comments, man. He said, love what we're doing. He said, keep pushing brick by brick, episode to episode, man. And like I said, that's why we started this stuff, man. It's about making sure that these young men get their just due. And shout out to our producer of this show, Mr. Derek Fleming. This was all his work on the production of this, man. And so, like I said, we're led by great minds on production, man. So thankful for that, man. But that's what we do this for. So shout out to you, Flem, for the production of today's episode, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I'm about student athlete. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm about others.
Yeah.
And that's what this was about. So, hey, man, hopefully when Bather has all his film, everybody can't capture the stuff. Bather's just a generational talent. He's just a natural. You know what I'm saying? He's just super dope when it comes to video and capturing angles and things of that nature. Everybody's not that talented. I'm not. So hopefully they can go to YouTube or come to our page and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Those folks, recognize what we were doing, and they didn't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Because we brought them in. You know what I'm saying? We brought them in with the kickoff lunch. Yeah. And then so we just felt right for them to bring them out. So
definitely, man. Good deal. Last one I have on the list is Mr. Lathan Snipes. And as we close this with number 99, Lathan Snipes, a graduate student, lineman from Elk Grove, California, by way of Monterey Trail, and I believe it's pronounced Butte College. I believe that's pronounced. Correct me if hopefully I pronounced that right. If it's not, it's Butte College. But West Coast kid in Nashville, man. Me and Bather know a lot about that those West Coast kids. We had a teammate, Tyrone, man, came all the way from Oakland, California, was a phenomenal defensive back, man. Man, he was nice. So it's always good when you get a kid that, when you go that far away, like you said, as in this game, you're taking a chance, man, on both sides. The player and the school are taking chances, man. So it's like we don't take that lightly, man. And thank you for entrusting Tennessee State for your final stop as well, too, man. And hopefully, what you all do internally, you've embraced yourselves enough, man, and to walk this path, man. So thank you, seniors. Thank you, 2025 seniors, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In the land, you got to sing alma mater. They got to,
we'll get to it. But real quick, man, like I want to take this time, as you see right there on the screen, beyond the jersey, man. So, I want to now do some wisdom sharing to these seniors as they move into their next step, right? So no matter if the Lord blesses you with that NFL shot, that UFL shot, that CFL shot, right? The next step, the next phase in your life is going to come. So I'll give it to you first, Bather. Talk to me about now after you've had your last game in Big Blue, right? Talk to me about your headspace and just overall from that year after, where your head was, and then how you look to maneuver.
Man, I just think that I remember being locked in on the pro day. And, going out with a bang, finishing strong, understanding that anything could happen. I've seen, like I said, former teammates undrafted and get picked up all because of the pro day. Shout out to Levine. Shout out to all those guys we watched come and get a shot. Booby, Cecil, everybody. Senior night might be here, but these next 2 months is 2-3 months. There's a chance to put yourself in, in a different tax bracket. So I was definitely focused on that, training every day, and finishing school out. But once the pro day was over, and once we realized, football is not, going to be played again, you got to make sure that you're getting your finances and your job straight, man. You got to figure out what you want to be. If you want to go back to school, you want to go to grad school. I ended up being a GA coaching, hopping right in, got hired that spring.
Yeah.
And then I was on the field coaching, reffing. Coach Pulley, let me know about the ref game and learning that. So football has made me a lot of my money, man. From NFL films to reffing to training to coaching. So you're not. Some people think you just go to school and you play football and that's all you do, but you learn the whole business.
Yeah.
When you're on the football team, you get to see the ins and outs. You get to learn the game. You get to learn how it's made, and it's an industry that you could jump right into and keep doing if that's what you want to do. Now, we got guys that want to go to grad school and, be doctors. That's another great thing, too. But my head was, how do I make money off of everything that I just learned from, college playing football? So I still got all my playbooks. I still got all my jerseys. I still got all my, just being ready to pick up and use everything you learn from finishing to never giving up to, being a good person, being a good teammate, to the code. Not breaking the code. There's certain things you learn on your team, how to treat people and who to trust, who not to trust. And you can't be backdooring folks in business and the relationships. All the stuff you learned over your 4 or 5 years being with the boys. So just take what you learn and step out into that new world, because you're never gonna get the same friends or vicinity of people ever again.
Yeah.
You're about to step into a world of it's you and you know what you make it. So just use what you got to make it, and I think we'll be fine.
Smooth. Flim, talk to us, man. That next step when the pads are never going to be put on again, man, and how you after graduation, how you think through that stuff.
Well, the cool thing is I tell, I've been a coach and I'm in private sector. And, when I got into the private sector, one of the most attractive things that was on my resume is that I was a college athlete. So when you get into the Fortune 500 companies world, the things they look for in resumes are what the things you did in college. And the A1 thing, the A1 plus thing is you being a college athlete.
Yeah.
They look at that extensively. I mean, they see that any type of recruiter, any type of headhunter organization, they see college athlete, they just salivate over that. You know what I'm saying? So what you have to do now is take those years and make sure that you capture everything that you've done since you've been in college and make sure it comes to life on paper. So because I tell all my kids, all the kids I've coached with, all the kids that I've, mentored or worked with, is that everybody's going pro. It just might not be in football. You know what I'm saying? So now the pro phase is here. So you got to make sure you capture all of the things that you've done. You can't minimize or devalue anything. If you did, volunteer work, if you did, you helped this freshman move into the dorm. I mean, I'm just telling you, you have to capture everything, because the smallest thing may be attractive to your next employer.
Yeah.
And I got literally a direct, storyline from that. Literally, the reason, I got hired with the NFL was the videos we were doing at school. I saw the application. I turned in all my little YouTube videos back then. We did a cooking show. We had the sports show with the boys. I turned that in and they ended up hiring me. And my first day up there, bro, I walked into the HR, met everybody. And one of the ladies was like, "Oh, we watched all your videos. We watched all your college videos. That's one of the reasons you got hired." And I was like, wow, the little BS college videos we were shooting in the dorm and in the rooms got me a job, 10 years, 2 Emmy nominations with the NFL.
Yeah.
So, wow. That's a true story.
Yeah. Phenomenal, man. For me, this is what I'll say. Like I said, I remember my last game, even that true last game, which was when we went to Murray State up there in Murray, Kentucky, a place where for some reason it is not often TSU gets one.
That horse be ready to die.
Yeah, man. That ugly. Anyways, we're gonna move on from that, right? And I just remember in the locker room, some guys definitely feeling the emotions of it and realizing like this is it. And internally, I start to feel it, but then I suppress it. And then on the road back home, I'm just thinking about it a little bit, and then my mind goes to the next step, because I don't want to dwell in something I know like this is it, right? So for me, what I did, I still went out there, prepared for the pro day like anybody else should prepare who feels like I got a shot. I still prepared, knowing I had no shot. But for me, it was about internally, I wanted to show that I could, now the responsibility is on me. It's not on me having to be at practice at this time and lift weights at this time, right? I wanted to show myself that I can be responsible, stay on task, and get something done. And I was able to do it. And when it was all said and done, my pro day numbers were right on par with anyone that you would have seen at the NFL combine that they do in Indianapolis, right? It was right on par with those. I would have probably finished in the top half in the numbers, whatever, right? But regardless, I had no no real numbers to garner. But to me, I was okay with that. And I'll tell you, my mom, she asked me, because she was more hurt than I was. She's like football's over with. Like, are you really, really okay? And I was like, Mom, I'm fine. It's okay. I said, I went out there. I had one last good workout with the boys, man. Life goes on. And I wasn't about to dwell in the hurt of that. Because I know personally my father went through that. My dad played quarterback at Tennessee State in the 70s. And one of the greatest things that my dad did when he was playing quarterback was he outdueled Doug Williams in Grambling. And when my dad had a shot at the pros with the 49ers and the Raiders and the Rams, all three of them, he had shots with them, and no one wanted him to play quarterback. You know, that hurt him. My dad, Flim knows, my dad from Corinth, Mississippi. And and all he know is quarterback his whole life. And then you tell him, okay, go play receiver. That's like, huh? Like how? How am I gonna do that? He had a shot in the Canadian League, but my dad's from Mississippi. He was just like, the NFL was it. Like it was right here. Like y'all don't want to give me a shot, and that hurt my dad for quite some time. And I knew that. So for me, my thing is to guys that whether you have a legit shot or don't have a legit shot, man. Whenever it's over, man, if you can find a way to press forward, I hope you can find a way. But if you can't, just know that's what this brotherhood is for. It's for that, man. Like I said, we can always find a way to. If all you need is someone to talk to, that's why God gave us 2 ears and one mouth. I can close that mouth and I can let these 2 ears and let you just get it off your chest. And if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do, man. But just know that no matter what, the next step is going to always be coming. So when you do that, I'm still going to always be push you what's next, because regardless, what you want it to happen is not going to happen, right? But you still got a chance to still be professional and to knock this thing out, right? As you said, Flair, man. So it's always a touching thing. I could even say this. We talk about this a lot too with Dominique, man, who played with me in Baylor. Dominique had played 12 years NFL, first round draft pick for Tennessee State, the last first round draft pick we had. And he'll tell you, even after retirement for him, with the career he had, it was still a few years of just trying to figure out what it is you want to do, So he's a person that is in a great space, had a great career, but you get done, you're just like, how do I get my focus, so it's like, it doesn't matter, man. So that's why, as I said, and to piggyback off what Flim said to the people here listening, like that next step is going to come no matter what. So always be thinking on it, always be trying to find a way to move towards it, man. So yeah.
Yep. And capture everything.
Yeah.
Everything you've done. If you was the captain of the team, or if you was captain of the scout team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? You were co-player of the whatever. Man, put it down in black and white, and you'll be surprised how these private, especially, you ain't gonna see it in the public sector. So I'm gonna tell you now, if you're going to be a teacher, they ain't paying no attention to that. Okay,
no, they not.
Yeah, but if you're going into the private sector, if you're going into some marketing or definitely in sales, if you're going in sales, you being a collegiate athlete is what they want, because they know you have a competitive spirit. Mm-hmm. And my competitive spirit made my whole career. You know what I'm saying? My whole career, excuse me, y'all, I know I'm a sales guy, I'm a finance guy, and it was built and driven from my collegiate history, the small history, but it equated to me being competitive and wanting to win, and I always have great sales numbers, and it still drives to today.
Mm-hmm. That's it, man. Well, as you see right there, what's next? What's next on the screen, man? So coming up this week, next week, it's gonna be a good one, man. We got some special episodes that we're gonna do. We're gonna bring you all into to some degree the locker room of one of the boys, right? So we're gonna have special segments where each of us are gonna produce an episode with some of our teammates that we had a chance to play with, man. So we're gonna do special episodes with like that. But also, Flim, I want you to introduce this one. We're gonna have a good conversation about all things the state of I'm gonna pass the state of
of Tennessee State University and athletics. You guys who have stayed with us, through this journey, this first year, it's kind of seen the platform have a little ebb and flow. You know what I'm saying? And some of it didn't have nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? We just had to adapt to the situation. We had to adapt to the cards that we were dealt, and all of them weren't favorable. And surprisingly, we wasn't always welcome. So, we were quiet during the season. You know what I'm saying? Me and Ballard was quiet. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't going to be quiet no more. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's time to start talking about why our university and our athletics have been in this space for decades. It's time to tell the truth and shame the devil. And that's what we're going to do. So
yeah, man.
Stay tuned, bro.
We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into what other people like to talk about.
I think I'm sweating over here.
The state of, folks always ask the question about the state of the conference of which Tennessee State plays in. So we're going to have our thoughts on that, right? I mean, we understand where athletically where we are when that stands, but we're going to share our thoughts on what Tennessee State should do in that space, right? And
yeah, we ain't nobody.
We don't all sit on the same side of that box, right?
Yeah. Now, not even what Tennessee State should do. We're not going to even make it like that.
Yeah.
Now
just
what we're going to we'll just lay out what they're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, because we're going to have a full year of attendance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we can break down and see who we play and what resonates with our folks, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's going to be an easy situation. So this ain't going to be our thoughts, right? We're just going to be true reporters, right? We're going to report what the numbers are when we play certain people. You know what I'm saying?
This conversation is going to be good because, again, my sense on this comes from a different place. So
basketball coming up too.
Yeah.
Women's, boys.
Yeah.
It's because you could take what you learned from football and then switch direction to basketball, and you may be able to save the year. You feel me?
Yeah. But you can also look at it for 35 years, Bab. We know what is interesting to our folks, to your mom and dad, to Reno folks don't always go. I mean, just like when my dad was here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they go, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But our folks, I'm a Gen Xer. I think I got some years on y'all. We're starting to see the different generations not have that same loyalty.
Loyalty, all right.
And so we got to really dig down to why. I don't think we had to dig very deep on why, but we didn't have to say, what is the university, the department going to do about this? Because I think some of it gets overlooked, and it's okay. But at the same time, if we're trying to move forward, we got new leadership. We got a new stadium coming.
Oh, for real?
We got a new coach coming.
We got a new stadium coming? When that came out?
Well, Nissan is about to be a new Nissan.
Nissan. Hell yeah.
Yeah, a new Nissan.
That is in very now. I'll see. I'll see what I can share on what I know about that. Because I am been privy to some information, but I'll see what I'm allowed to share.
What about also some feedback from some of the boys? Some of these seniors we got to get their experience, and then just some band members, some cheerleaders, maybe some regular students, so we can get a full synopsis of what where we at going into the second semester. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And you can get it. You can get it from all sides. We can all figure it out. We can sit down, come up with a plan, and go into January with a fresh start.
Yeah, man. Well, like I said, that's what's up. Like I said, we're gonna see you all if you're here. We either gonna see you in Nissan Stadium this Saturday, or we gonna see you virtually watching it on ESPN.
This the last game too, right?
No. We got one more.
Got one more.
This was
Got
the
one more.
last
Got one more. Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's what it's gonna be, man. So as always, from Uproar to you all, we thank you. Stay tuned for next week's show. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
good one, man. Uproar.
Hey, take it back.